Okay, everyone. So in this video, I want to improve the movement of the ghost. So right now, the ghost kind of just heads directly towards the wizard all the time. It's a little bit relentless, and I want to give it more of a ghosty feel. I want it to move in a more ghost-like way. So I want it to kind of like just hover around a little bit, and instead of always moving directly towards its target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a new movement brick, which I'm going to call hover. And as usual, Scratch is inviting me to define it. So to hover, I'm going to make the ghost just kind of move around in a circle. So I'm going to go to motion. I'm going to tell it to well, I want to actually, let me go to control first. I want to repeat this. So I'm going to break the circle up into 8 pieces. It's going to move kind of in a hexagonal, octagonal movement. So it's going to make a movement a little bit up, and then a little bit to the right, and then a little bit more to the right, and then a little bit down to the right, and then a little bit down, and a little bit down to the left. And it's going to keep moving around the hexagon until it's completed a full circle. So there are 8 moves in the hexagon, and 360 divided by 8 is 45. So what I want it to do is I want it to move 10 steps, and then I want it to turn 45 degrees. So now it should do this 8 times, and it should come around to where it was before. So it'll move 10, then change its direction 45, move 10, change its direction 45, and so on. Now, if I just pop that in here, then for every 3 steps it moves towards the wizard, it will do a little circle hover. So let's just kind of play around with that to see how it looks. So you can see it moves around in a circle like that, and it moves a little bit towards the wizard. So it's moving towards the wizard, but it's like excruciatingly slow. So I think maybe we can do better than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this ant. Whoops. I'm going to introduce an if-else condition. So that's this one here. So this one's going to do a test. And what I'm going to make it do is I'm going to make it choose at random whether to hover or to move towards the wizard. And I'm going to give it a slight bias towards moving towards the wizard, so it'll more often move towards the wizard than it will hover. So let's say every 5 movements it will hover, and then the other 4 it will move towards the wizard. So how am I going to do this? So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to pick the less than. And so I'll put that as a 4. I'm going to put a pick random in here. So you'll notice pick random is circular, so it matches this circle. So pick random between 1 and 5. And let me change this to less than 5. So now it'll either choose 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And if it picks 1, 2, or 3, or 4, it'll be less than 5. So, oops. I'm going to pop that in there. So if it picks 1, 2, 3, or 4 out of 5 at random, so it'll do that most of the time, 80% of the time, I want it to point towards the wizard and move towards the wizard. Otherwise, I want it to hover. So the way this should work, this if-else is, it checks this condition, it picks a random number, like it's picking out a number out of a hat. If it gets a 4, say, then that's less than 5. So in that case, it's going to point towards the wizard and move 3 steps. But on the rare occasion, on every 5th occasion, roughly speaking, approximately 1 out of every 5 conditions, it will pick a 5. In that case, it'll do a little circular hover. So let's play this and see how it looks. I still think it's a little bit too easy to escape. So let's move it 5 steps instead of 3. So let's play that again. Just moving a little bit faster when it moves towards the wizard. And you can play around with this to try and get a kind of movement that you think feels a little better. So if you feel like it's hovering too much, then one thing that you can do is you can increase this maybe to 10. And then put that as 10 as well. And now most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it will move towards the wizard. Okay, so you can play around with that.
Okay, that's that, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.